Hi, loves. So I wanted to come on here tonight. It's actually been a super long day, but I wanted to come on here and talk about a topic that I think will really help a lot of freight brokers that are starting in the industry or freight agents. Um, in the last 3 years, I have made a lot of mistakes that have helped me get to wins over time. And as I was making them, I was going back and looking at the mistakes that were made so that I can come back and be stronger than ever. So there's 5 things, and I wrote them down because if you're not failing, you're not learning. If you're not educating yourself, you're not learning. Okay? So number one, because I can go on and on. There's so many mistakes that I've made, so I had to kind of, get organized because I could talk all day about the mistakes that I made because I made a lot. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I made a lot of mistakes in logistics in the last 3 years that got me to the wins today. Okay, so number one is not having a niche. Not having a niche is an issue. It can unorganize you, it can keep your mind all over the place. You have to dumb it down to one niche. It can be lumper. My niche is food. Anything that has to do with food, produce, meats, beverages. Beverages are my number one. A lot of my customers are beverage customers. In the beginning, I knew right away I needed a niche because if you're kind of the jack of all trades, you know what I'm going to say. You're the master of none, and that is an issue. Okay, so if you're going to pick a niche, you need to stick with that, learn everything you can about it, and just go really hard on that niche. Because when you hear people say the niches, the riches are in the niches. That's what they say, and it's very true. I've learned so much about shipping food in the last 3 to 4 years that it's not even funny. Okay. Um, for you, it might be different. It could be lumber, it could be retail clothing, it could be recycling. There's multiple niches to choose from in the logistics industry. Everything we see goes on a truck. Pick a niche, learn as much as you can about it, and customers slash shippers will know when you know your stuff. Okay, they can tell. So you need a niche. All right, number two, a lot of brokers do this because, and I know this because I've done it and I've seen other people do it. Taking any load and saying, okay, you don't have access to bulk trucks, and you don't have a lot of connections that are hazmat endorsed, but you still will tell a potential customer. One time I had a customer ask me, I was just starting my career, can you get access to 60 hazmat tankers? And I said, yes. And knowing that I could never fulfill that need because I do not specialize in hazmats. Like I said, I specialize in food, and a lot of the times that is either refrigerated trucks or dry van. Very rarely is it a hazmat or a tanker. That could be the situation, but taking any load, that was a really big downfall for me. In the beginning, you're desperate, okay? You have to get out of that mindset, that desperate mindset of, oh, yeah, I have access to 250 dry vans. Yeah, no worries. And you are still utilizing the load board. You don't have a list of carriers that you're connecting and partnering with. So it's easy just to say, yeah, absolutely, I can do it. Please be careful with those kinds of situations because they can bury you. Okay? If you want to do this humbly and you want to do this honestly, just say, listen, I might have to point you in another direction to a colleague, or I can try to help you with at least 5 out of the 60. Just be honest. Be honest because shippers understand, but they also know when you're not telling the truth. They can smell that, and be careful when you overcommit and underdeliver. Overcommitting and underdelivering. You want it to be Straightforward so that that does not happen to you. Okay? Do not tell somebody you can fulfill a need that they have. And in reality, you know when you go to bed tonight that you cannot fulfill that need. Okay? So be careful with that. Number three, only moving full truckload. I was so scared of LTL, and now I understand why. Here's why. I didn't have the partners that I needed in order to properly rate an LTL load. Okay? I didn't have the connections and the partners that I have now. So now I utilize at least 4 LTL providers who cover the entire map. When I first started, I was very scared of the class of the freight, the density, um, what are accessorials? I was so uneducated on LTL that I just thought that I was going to be a full truckload broker for the rest of my days. Don't do that. You're leaving money on the table. Learn as much as you can about full truckload and LTL because a shipper can say to you, listen, yeah, we have full truckloads and they're all covered. We're good for the year. We're running contract lanes. We're good to go. But I have 4 lanes monthly that I move, but they're only partials in LTL. You can miss an opportunity not educating yourself on LTL. I was so scared of LTL. And when I really got into it, I still made mistakes, but my profit margins were much higher on an LTL load than they were on a full truckload. Okay, so do your research and do not be scared when somebody says, hey, we only have LTL. The last 5 carriers that they had on an LTL load could have dropped the ball because situations like this happen. I have a local manufacturer here in Buffalo, New York. Um, Someone abandoned his shipments and he reached out to me via email and he says, hey, Deb, can you rescue this? If he would have asked me that a year ago, I could not have rescued that shipment. I didn't have the partners or the connection to do so. Okay? But this was recently last week. I have the connections, I have the stability, I have the strong partners, I have the capacity to get him out of that situation. Okay? That is very, very important. Do not skip around LTL because it scares you. Do it anyways. Learn all you can because really logistics is about education. You have to take it all in. Everybody has different stories, different situations, and on top of that, you're learning from your own dynamic and what you're going through as a broker. Okay? So that is okay, but don't just be a full truckload broker. Be an LTL broker as well. You do not have to be afraid to move partial loads. All right? You got this totally under control. Um, Number 4 actually ties into number 2, but it's lying about what you know. Okay. Um, I heard a saying that said you need to be like a toddler when you're on the phone with these potential customers, and what you need to be doing is asking why over and over again, because that gives you the education that you need. We watch a lot of videos from other brokers, other drivers. We rarely see videos from shippers. Okay? You need to drill into their brain as many questions as you can so you can figure out why their operations are the way that they are and what kind of help they need. Do not lie about what you know. They will smell the fear. Even when you have a customer, okay, and you say, oh, the transmission blew on the truck, but really your driver fell asleep in the cab and he missed that appointment. You have to be honest. When you're running a business, you have to bite the bullet, okay? And these are things that I've learned. Sometimes there's going to be more losses than wins. Other times there's going to be more wins than losses. But you cannot run around lying to shippers, carriers. You stand on your own 2 feet, and when you need somebody, they're going to remember a situation where you were not truthful. Trust me, shippers can smell it. They can smell the fear, okay, and the lies. So you just be honest. Say, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what a lumper fee is. I've never heard of that before. Can you explain to me what a lumper is and why you use it, they would respect that more than saying, oh, yeah, no, no, we deal with lumpers all the time. And then when it's time to submit a job that has a lumper involved, you have no clue what's going on. Okay? Be honest. Number 5, not using a CRM or a TMS system. You're going to make a lot of cold calls in your career, depending on how long you stick around for, honestly. You're going to make a lot of calls. Okay? It is so confusing to keep everything on a Word document. You know how confusing that was for me? So right now I have a Send TMS. It is $99 a month. And honestly, that's a great rate for everything that it does. Okay, building your own loads, tracking and tracing is my favorite because when my customers ask, hey, Deb, where's my shipment? All I have to do is pull up my transportation management system and say, hey, it's on the 33 headed towards the I-90, in Buffalo, New York. That's visibility. That's what customers want. Okay. CRM, that's your relationships. That's where you are submitting a customer, all their information, phone number, first name, last name, email. And I use HubSpot. HubSpot has a really super cool feature that is so awesome. You can email a customer, okay, any time of day. And when you email them, it saves it to my CRM, but it also shows me when this potential customer opened my email. Because with Google, you're just sending emails. You don't even know if these emails are being opened. So you don't know how to properly follow up with a customer because you have no clue if he even opened that email. So it's the fine line between, okay, am I following up or am I being annoying? I love that feature that you can see that your emails are being opened at what time. Are they consistently opening them at the same time every day? It gives you more visibility into when they're sitting down at their desk, when they're less busy. Okay, so those are my 5. Not having a niche. You need a niche. Taking any load. Stop doing that, okay? That goes along with number 4. Stop lying. Get more educated. Please ask smart questions. Just be a human. Only moving full truckload. Research LTL, please, and everything that comes with it, okay? And then just take the leap. And if you make mistakes, guess what? You learn just like me. Number 4, lying about what you know. Please stop doing that. Educate yourself, okay? You will have way more solid customers if you are truthful, okay? Also, number 5, not using a CRM, which keeps you organized, or a TMS system, which also gives you visibility, keeps you organized. Those are the 5 things, and I can go on and on and on, but those are the most important before I close out this night. I know a lot of you are looking to open freight brokerages. A lot of you have this big plan, big idea. There are freight brokers out here who have made mistakes that they don't want you to make, but they also want you to understand and they just want to help. I am a broker that just wants to help. That's why this channel is important to me and it always will be. Um, I'm working on an ebook right now. It is called How to Start a Freight Brokerage in 7 Steps. So I will let you know when that launches. In the meantime, subscribe, like the live, and that brings more people in who are trying to start a brokerage who are just stepping into the trucking industry. So I'm glad I got a chance to talk with you guys tonight and really share how my mistakes have helped me grow. But please remember, it's okay to make mistakes.